Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Just arrived a few seconds ago, my new iPhone. So you guys know that I bought a iPhone SE 2020, actually just recently. Tech addiction, what can I say? So originally I had wanted the mini, and I wasn't quite sure about it for the iPhone 12 mini because there is a buyout at the end with my cell company, and I really wasn't too keen on that. But I started thinking more, and you know, I mean, that can be dangerous for a guy, right? So I decided, well, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I might as well. I mean, it's a phone, it's cool, and you've got 12 megapixel cameras front and rear, which is really awesome. So anyway, so we got a little bit of usual literature and our cell phone pin, one Apple sticker, and what else have we got here? Our USB-C to lightning cable, completely useless. I don't have a USB-C port on anything. Anyway, wow, I do on a laptop, but anyhow, so I do have a USB to lightning, which is just fine. Apple should be using USB-C to USB-C by now, especially on these, the iPhone 12s. That would be kind of practical when you think about it, but fortunately they're not doing that yet. So I got mine in blue, and I like the blue color. It's kind of really nice. And we do have dual cameras, of course. So we are going to need to set this thing up, and I will then give my first initial impression thoughts on this thing. So our cell phone SIM card slot is over here. Power it up. Should be a bit of a charge in this thing already. Now this does have a wireless charging capability, which is another plus. I do have a wireless charger, and it works great. I've been actually using it on the SE 2020. Works fantastic, no problems there. So of course we have our hello screen, and we have to start setting this up. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. So basic setup is done. Signed into my Apple account, blah blah blah. It still has to do an iOS update. This one here comes with 14.21, so I gotta update it to 14.3. It is kind of weird not having a home button anymore though. It's just all this swipe stuff. I set up Apple Face ID as well. I have to learn about that myself. It's one feature I've never used before. So anyways, the other thing we got today, and we'll continue on, is an ESR phone case and protector set that I got on Amazon. Because yeah, you want to protect your investment, that's for sure. So, because these things are not cheap. But anyways, I got this kit from Amazon. Didn't cost very much. I think it was like under 20 bucks. It was pretty cheap. And I've heard a lot of good things about ESR. And so I thought, well, I'll give it a go. You never know. Might be good, might be bad. We'll have to see. And at least they do have a lot of iPhone 12 mini stuff right now, which is actually quite good. So we do get 2 glasses with this kit as well, which is very handy. And looks like 2 kits for wiping the phone down with, etc. So I thought we'd do an install while we're at it. A little bit of extra for the video, and never hurts. So we'll just turn the phone to sleep mode there. So, now, the one thing I am liking about ESR products, and there's a few others out there that are doing it, is they include one of these drop-down frames for being able to perfectly align the glass. I'm good enough now that I can do it without, but it's the whole, this has no home button, and you want to get things just correct type of thing, so having something that can line it up perfectly even is actually a good idea. Now they do give you these dust static removal sticker things too. I actually, to be honest, never like them. I've used them a number of times and I've still found that they don't work very effectively. Not to mention the sticky part leaves a bit of a residue on your phone. But if you take the extra time to do a few extra swipes, just going straight down, you shouldn't get any lint or anything left behind. Then, without touching the glass, install your drop frame. And keep your fingers on the outside edges. Line it up like so. If you did that correctly, you'll have little to no bubbles. And then you just keep pressing on there and pushing forward. Now usually they give you a card for this so that you can get those bubbles out, but this one didn't come with one. And this is going to take a little bit. So, I'll be back when I got all the bubbles out. Okay guys, so we've got it as debubbled as debubbled gets. It's got like maybe one or two that'll work its way through. It's adhesive. But anyways, so I've already installed the case as well. So this is the new ESR case that came with the kit. I've seen a lot of videos on these things, and apparently they're really good because they do actually sit up a little taller. Not by a whole lot, but enough that if you laid the screen down flat, it's not actually going to, the screen is not going to touch the surface. And also having a protector glass on top of that on there is going to add a lot of really good protection. You know, it's better to break your tempered glass if it hits the ground than to smash your screen apart in a million pieces. So yeah, having a glass on there is a really good idea. So anyway, this is, of course, unboxing, first impressions, and so far, I think it's a pretty neat little phone. I wanted the nostalgic look because this reminds me of the old 4S, 5S type phones. So it's pretty cool, and of course we do have wireless charging. We can throw it over here on the charger. It sees through the case without a problem, starts charging. We're all good to rock and roll, so that's actually quite awesome. So anyways, I like the design form of this one. What's really neat is how they extend the screen like a little set of mini horns, and it comes around by the earpiece. Now they could have probably brought that in a little bit more. Maybe they will in the next version, who knows. I think I've seen people showing videos on this on YouTube, and you see the parts of the video in the top, and I'm like, that's kind of different. But they do make use of the entire screen area pretty well. You know, so that's actually good. So it does give you actually a little bit larger format screen without increasing the size of the phone. Because you know, on like the SE 2020s, your iPhone 8s and so on, they have like, you know, that whole blanked out area and then the home button area, and then up top here it's all blacked out, so the rest of it's just your screen. So you're not getting full use out of the whole piece of glass. In this case they do. But then again, no home button anymore, right? So it's all swipe and Face ID stuff, which isn't entirely a bad thing. I'm not sure quite yet how Face ID works. I did set it up for Face ID, but I would have thought that, you know, I locked the phone and you know, I hit my button. Well, it's got that pickup thing where it's going to activate too. But I figured, you know, you hit the home button and it should automatically come up with Face ID, but it doesn't. But you do have instant access to your flashlight, apparently, if we can get that to actually work. Apparently, yeah, we're going to have to figure that out. Maybe I'll have to get the 14.3 update in there. I don't know yet. But into the camera, though, we do have 12 megapixel front and rear cameras on this thing, which is kind of cool. Get out of there. Yes. Allow while only using the app. So we'll scroll over to the camera. So this is our rear-facing camera. That's a really sweet picture. And that's just HD 30 frame. We do have, of course, the light that we should be able to access as well. The light, oh no, that's the flash. That's, okay, maybe if we start a video, it'll do it. But front camera, that's nice. That is really nice for front camera. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole phone. I've got to learn this phone. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to. But we can go into settings, into the camera area, and see where the defaults are set. So this is already set for like 1080p stuff for recording and whatnot. So we can go 1080p, 60 frame per second, 1080p, 4K at 2430 and 60 frame per second. So let's go 4K, HDR video, auto FPS. 30 and 60 is what we want for automatic. Lock camera, do not automatically switch. You don't need to lock your camera. Preserve settings, volume up for burst mode. Of course, I have that turned off by default and it can stay off. Scene detection. And we'll get out of there, back into the camera. And 4K at 60. Even on the front, that's wicked. Or we got 4K 60 on the back. Also very cool. Oh, that's like a sensor deal. I see it trying to, I guess it's with the lighting. Oh, there we go. So I guess it's going to do, I'm going to have to learn the camera. When I learn more about this thing, that's when you're going to see a review on it, and I'll take you through everything that I've learned on it, for sure. I know if we tap on here, we can change the settings of the camera, you know, without having to go back into the camera app for that. So that's actually quite cool. Swipe to quit. The only thing I haven't figured out is, and I got to look into it, of course, obviously, is you know how you double click your home button and you could swipe all your programs closed. Is that an automatic thing because this is a swipe thing, that it's just going to keep all those background apps closed, or do I have to figure something else out? That I got to figure out. So I guess I'll be watching some videos on this thing myself a little bit further and checking into it. As far as I know, both cameras do record at the same time. They're not independent on the back. They do record at the same time apparently, from what I've been hearing. So we'll have to, again, look more into that. I'm pretty impressed though. Like just signing in with my account, all my contacts are there. I just got to rebuild my favorite list again, which is cool. I can deal with that. We do have, of course, our App Store, our main apps that are in here. Now they also have GarageBand included, iMovies included. That's a given on a freshly set up phone from the factory. But yeah, so far I'm liking this. That's cool, and I love the blue. That's a really nice shade of blue, and I love the see-through case on the ESR case. That's also pretty awesome. It's a pretty familiar phone. I mean, you've got your typical on and off silence for your ringer. You've got your up and down buttons for your volume and whatever else. The corners are also reinforced, by the way, on the casing, which is nice. Of course, we have our bottom area open for our speakers, microphones, our lightning port. Again, if Apple's going to start doing this USB garbage, put USB at both, or USB-C. Put it at both ends, not just one. I mean, the lightning port is dead. Let's get rid of it, you know, completely at both sides of the fence if we're going to do that. But again, it's another disappointing thing is there are no chargers. We're not getting chargers now. And it's like, how many people have a USB-C port? Like, I don't have any USB-C chargers around here. You know, so these cables are completely useless unless I go out and spend 25 or 30 bucks on a USB-C wall charger, right? So I have to use a old cable that's standard USB to Lightning to charge this thing. You know, so it's either go one way, go the other, but give us chargers back. That is, to me, a must-have item. We need those chargers. And again, just drop it on the charger and away we go, and we'll charge it up. Now, the only thing I didn't see yet in the battery setup is to view percentage. You know how it's like 30%, 40%, 50%, all that? That's not there, you know. We do have, of course, battery health, which tells us, you know, we do have a battery with 100% health, which is great, but what about being able to view my battery level by percentage instead of some little thermometer? That feature I haven't found under the battery, so maybe that'll be included in the 14.3 update with this phone. I don't know. Like I said, it's a new phone for me, so we'll have to take things as they come and see where they go from there. But so far, like I said, I am impressed with the phone. I like the looks. I like the feel of it. You know, that squareness and thickness. It has a bit of enough bulk there. There's like, I'm actually holding a real phone in my hands, and I love the size. The size is like just great on it. I really like that. So that's an awesome thing as well. But more things will come, of course, on this phone for videos. Again, the ESR, that I will do a separate review on the case itself. What I can tell you in this video is that I do like it, but I do need to, at the same time, spend some time with it and see how much I really like it and if it's a really good case in the end. I've got a whole collection of different cases, but of course they're not for this phone. It's very specific, but this was the last case I put on my SE 2020, and it's a good little case from the dollar store. Like, you can't go wrong at $1.25. It works. You know, and the screen protectors are definitely must-haves. So, I'm going to leave this on charge because it needs to charge up anyhow, and once that's all said and done, then I can use my phone. I've only made one phone call on it while I was debubbling, and I couldn't get a hold of my buddy, so I guess I'll have to wait and see what the sound quality is like. But do stay tuned for more on this phone. We will come back to it. I don't know exact time frame when for a review, but so far I'm very impressed with it. The next little while will tell if it's really worth the money I paid out. I want to see what the battery life is going to be like. I want to shoot some videos with it, see what the video and sound quality is going to be like at the same time. You know, and I don't do editing on my phone anyways. I do that all on my main computer. That's why computers were invented in my world. But to each their own. But so far, so good. Anyways, guys, stay tuned for more, like I said. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out. And we'll see you in the next one. Ciao.